Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in or watching the recorded video. As I always say, feel free to share this to your wall after it posts to mine. These are my opinions only. I'm not a mental health professional or a therapist. I just have borderline personality disorder. Tonight's topic is myths of a borderline. Truth is the key to understanding. Now, I've touched on some of these myths briefly in some of my past go lives, but I feel it's important to bring them together into one video. People are not able to fully understand a disorder unless they possess it. And even, those who do possess it many times have a difficult time comprehending it. So people are really at a disadvantage if all they hear are lies, theories, or myths about something they already don't know a great deal about. So tonight I'm going to touch briefly on 5 common myths, which I hope will in turn provide you with some truth about one of the most misunderstood disorders out there. Number 1, you cannot diagnose adolescents with BPD. Yes, you can. Symptoms of borderline personality disorder can many times be visible after puberty. And, but people think that because the brain is still developing and because of the hormonal changes in teenagers, that it's virtually impossible to differentiate common adolescent behavior versus BPD behavior. Now, I agree that it can be a little bit more challenging to correctly diagnose at a young age, but it is possible and it really is done. The criteria under the DSM-5 is the same for someone at age 14 than it is for someone at age 54. If the individual meets 5 out of the 9 criteria under the DSM-5, they very well may have borderline personality disorder. And for those who have developed this disorder at a young age, they may already be a half decade or longer into an undiagnosed, untreated, potentially deadly disorder. So at age 18, should we expect that some of our children who are undiagnosed, untreated, be self-sufficient and successful leaving the house after high school and going into a job or college? So many of our young adults are dying from suicide. So many are becoming addicted to drugs or turning to violence. So many of these kids have been in the mental health system since their early teens, being pushed medication and being diagnosed with everything under the sun except for BPD. This myth can kill our children, and we need to step up and educate our parents, educate our psychiatrists and the general public, about this disorder. We need to provide damage control in a sense and provide, and do something before it's too late. Now I understand not everyone with issues has BPD, but there are so many adolescents out there who could lead long, normal, healthy lives if they were just correctly diagnosed early on. I've had this disorder almost my whole life and I didn't know it. I was misdiagnosed from age 18 until 36. I'm lucky I made it because so many young folks out there don't, and they or their loved ones never know why. Number 2 on the list is only women have borderline personality disorder. Obviously not. Yes, roughly 75% of those diagnosed are women, but as I'd mentioned in a previous Go Live discussing men and BPD, the condition does not discriminate. It doesn't discriminate against age, ethnicity, social status, income, or gender. There's no genetic studies out there that show that a woman is more likely to develop BPD because of their sex. Now, there are influences and factors that may cause women to be diagnosed more than men, including society's expectations of men, which I've covered before. Psych